ready.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Saturday morning, Panther fans. Now, as you hear, I don't have a whole lot of voice, but I want to get one thing out first before I forget and before I lose it. Last night in the recap in the post game, I did the thing without knowing I was going to do the thing. This is the perfect example of what happens to me and why, in quotes, it makes me look like Jaws Stradamus. Okay. I'm all full of emotion last night. Now, when we got the empty net, I'm screaming, I'm yelling, I'm all over the place. I ain't paying any other attention to what's going on the screen. So at some point at the beginning of the recap, I said, I don't even know who scored the empty net. And then I realized I was all over the place. So I said, okay, you know what? Let's just go by the players. Let's just go down the players so I can be focused. And I started going down the players. And I got to Reinhardt. And I didn't really have anything good to say. It's, I don't know. Well, look, maybe for all I know, he's the one that got the empty net goal.
He did.
And sure enough, when I was editing the video and I saw on Twitter, I'm like, son of a bitch. That's what happens. Whatever that is, when I get into this emotional zone, whatever that is, that's the Drostradamus thing. It's just sometimes I just say it before it happens. That's all. That game, well, you hear it. I mean, we've been doing this for how long? I haven't had a hoarse voice like this after a Panther game. I think maybe since one of the games against the Lightning a couple of years ago, or maybe against the Islanders. Stu was there. How was that, brother?
Awesome. Now, I want to point something out. Flying Fluffy Hockey, the number one Panther fan podcast in the world. We have two good hockey analysts, Jostradamus and yours truly. And I don't say that to be braggadocious, but go back to the last video where I said, the keys to the game. Early goal, maybe two. The power play, we had two power play goals.
Yeah.
Barkov, and if you could see, guys.
There you go. Yeah.
I never wear this shirt. I found this shirt in the back of my armoire, and I said, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wearing this.
That's right. Stu texted me before the game.
And look what happens.
Yeah. That's right.
What else did I say? I said something about, wouldn't it be great for unsung heroes that never, we have our leaders, but.
Right.
Dalpe,
yeah.
And I said Luosterainen or Lundell, we're going to contribute and do something. I also said, and I'm going to keep this video 95% positive, but I want to answer this one guy on the stream or on the comments, Endo, whatever his name is.
Hey, Endo's cool. Be nice, though.
Because I ripped Ekblad, and he came back and said, I'm so negative and blah, blah, blah. Now, when I'm at the game, I can focus on a player as opposed to TV where the camera follows the puck. I'll say it again. Aaron Ekblad is a defensive liability. He got beat every time a Bruin went around him. He also did that thing where, like Uyghur did, where he tries to stick handle. And it cost us, and then he got two penalties. And the second one cost us a goal. Okay, that's it as far as the negative. So
that's good.
Let's switch gears. Okay? Let's talk about Matthew Tkachuk.
Let's talk about Matthew Tkachuk. This dude. And look, when we made the trade, and by the way, I'm not criticizing Flames fans because I was just as animated telling them what to expect from Jonathan Huberdeau. So I'm not being critical. But what I was told by Flames fans is, yeah, he might be a beast in the regular season, but he's going to disappear in the playoffs. And when I looked at his stats, there was some viability there. Now, last year he had improved in the playoffs. But his first, I think, 3 attempts wasn't pretty, wasn't good. So I said, well, I guess we'll have to see. We seeing. Do you see this kid's energy and his reaction?
Enthusiasm.
Yeah, man.
Now, I got to make a point. Mike Rupper, remember when I said he dissed us and he owes us an apology? And he didn't even mention the Panthers. He said the Islanders and the Penguins.
And the Penguins, yeah.
Well, I just watched the NHL Network, and guess what? Mike Rupper says, I love the Panthers.
Oh, yeah, no.
Okay?
Yeah, no.
All right, so let's reverse the tapes because I'd be remiss without shout-outs.
Yeah.
First shout-out is to Mark, of course, taking me to the game and whatnot, but a shout-out to Claude. Now, I worked with Claude. Claude was a usher, and Claude had some surgery or something, and he allowed me to get the ticket. And I sat next to his wife, Dee, and I thank Mark and Dee for stopping the cowbell. It was just like hurting my ears, and they were really nice to stop doing the cowbell. So shout out to you guys. Now, I want to make another point. I don't know how many times in the chat all of these guys, and I won't mention names, said, I want to meet you, blah, blah, blah. So I went between the first and second period to where I usually go, which is in front of Pantherland and that nobody showed up.
Well, brother,
wait.
No. You can't rag on the chat. Look,
wait, I'm not ragging. I'm just letting you know.
I want my objection noted for the record.
Okay, you can object.
Okay.
Now, Evan, I'm going to give you a shout out because you did come up to me between the second and third. So listen, I'm not angry. I just would like to have met, some of the guys that
you got to tell me before the intermission, because when intermission comes, half the people leave to go take a leak and get a sandwich, so they don't hear me telling. You got to tell me. You got to, with 5 minutes left in the period.
I did, bro. I did.
No, man, I got the text here, bro. Yeah. I know when it was.
Yeah, but I had Mark texting, putting comments on the stream with Kyle to let everybody know. It doesn't matter. Everything's good. I love all you guys.
This guy, man.
Okay, so
we're 8 minutes in. Stu's full of complaints.
Yeah, no. I said this video was going to be 95%.
Well, you've used up the 5% now.
All right.
Okay.
So, by the way, guys, I'm not wearing the shirt. I'm sorry. I still got my coffee mug. Okay.
He's got the mug. I've got the shirt. Oh, and I got a message from Dustin. He bought the mug. He sent me a picture, so I'm going to post that today, by the way. So now you can be happy.
A lot of people like the mug. Good way to support the channel. Okay, so do you realize there were 4 or 5, I think, lead changes? Oh, by the way, I saw Randy for the second game in a row, and 120 is where the elevator is, where they go up, to the top, blah blah blah. And Randy and I kind of agreed that the penalties and getting the first goal and having a lead. What's blowing my mind is that we're doing this to Omar, who's pretty much going to win the Vezina Trophy.
Yeah.
We scored 7 goals on him last night. All right, 6.
Right.
Because you can't count the Reinhardt. And the Reinhardt empty net was incredible. He banked it off the boards perfectly. Like in pool.
Yeah.
Like in pool where you make a trick shot.
Yep.
And I told Mark when that puck bounced off the board, I said, Mark, it's going in. And it did. We had fun, Mark, huh? And Paul, I want to give a shout out. Paul was another usher who, we're all gone from the team, and he sat next to us. So that's it for that. But Bob played. I mean, he let in some goals.
Yeah, but
the only goal I'll fault him on is the first one was a rebound,
right?
And he didn't cover it, and I forget. I think it was Marchand who did it again to us. But the keys to that game was being aggressive on the forecheck and waiting for the Bruins to make defensive mistakes. I said you win in the playoffs with really good goaltending, special teams, and you wait for that defensive mistake. So you had
Right.
the Allmark F up in overtime.
Right.
And then you have last night. Bertuzzi gave the puck away from the corner. I don't know what he was thinking. Passed it up the middle. Boom.
Look, so a couple of things there. We talked about this before the series started. We've been playing, and this is goes back to what Maurice said, man. The dude's got something there. If we can pull this off, we've been playing playoff hockey for 2 months. We've been on death's door for 2 months. The Bruins, yeah, they've been winning, but they ain't had anybody play them tough and hard the way we're playing them on a nightly basis in a long time. So, and the other thing about the goaltending, best goaltender on the ice last night was Radko Gudas. Okay, that son of a bitch. Well, they was fixing to kill me. And there's Bob just way out of his net, sitting on the freaking ice like a baby in his diaper. And there's Radko Gudas saving the damn season. And so I wanted to make sure I mentioned that because I went crazy about it during the stream, but I forgot to talk about it during the recap. Look, and then one more thing somebody said in the comments of the recap. It was one of the recaps because I put out a second video with the highlights from the stream. Somebody said, don't jinx it by saying we're going to win game 7. Bro, I said we were going to win the cup. And I picked us to win this series in 7. So at this point, I ain't backing out of that now. I've been saying it all year. So, I mean, I get it. I get the jinx part, but I already been saying it this whole time. So at this point, now I will warn everybody. I said this last night in the recap. If I got this right, if I got it really, really, really right, the prediction before the series was game 7 in triple overtime. So have your extra snacks, have your medication, have all your stuff ready. Because on the off chance that I really, really just was Jostradamus and got that right, we're going to be there a long time tomorrow. The game's at 6:30, by the way. I checked this morning. It starts at 6:30.
Game 7.
Yeah. Yep.
So I want to go back to that Endo comment because both you and I at some point were calling for Maurice to. In fact, a lot of people were calling from him. And what happened was the players finally got it. That whole thing about playoff hockey, we talked about that before the season started.
Right.
Because last year we had the run and gun and we got to the playoffs and, Tampa adjusted and just shut us down.
Right.
They're playing playoff hockey.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
this is
if
I said something.
Let's beat the Bruins. Okay, let's take it to them. Beat the Bruins in Boston. We've already won 2 out of 3. Yep. We're not afraid of them.
Nope.
People will start talking after the Bruins series.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we're I'm not going to say I'll say we're peaking. We won 6 1-1 in the last 8 games. We had that streak, 6 in a row, whatever it was.
Yeah.
That's the type of team that could take it. And you could just see the enthusiasm on the team led by Tkachuk that this team believes now. And that's the thing. And they're playing for each other. Remember Billy Lindsay? That famous thing, the way you get that you play for each other.
Yeah, you're playing for each other.
And
the one thing that's actually I'm seeing now Boston fans talk about was something that I talked about when it happened. And when I presented my theory, I said, I know this is kind of a reach, but it's actually ending up to be accurate. When they put Bergeron and Krejci back, they had to brutalize the lines that beat us those 2 games in a row, and it changed all the matchups.
Do you mean Marchand and Bergeron?
No, because Bergeron and Krejci were out. So they retooled the lines, and that's the lines that beat the crap out of us the 2 games. Then they come back, and so they remade the lines. Boston remade the lines, and I said, that might not be the best thing for them because how many times have we seen it where Ekblad goes out, the defense looks good, And then when he comes back, we remake the pairs, and it's all screwy again. And now I'm seeing Bruins fans going, man, maybe we shouldn't have put Tracy back in. Maybe what's going on with Burge? So I just hope they run the same lineup out there again. I ain't even gonna lie. I hope they run the same lineup out there again. Because now we see, did you see the thing about Barkov being sick?
Yes.
Yeah. So now we're seeing him take his game to another level. I mean, at least certainly last night, wow.
The only thing
That's
that
what I got.
we keep losing faceoffs, and that's going to be important. But that first goal by Montour, Omar should. I mean, he picked a good spot, but Omar stops that, and I mean he stopped a shot before that. But that goal is within 3 minutes. That just the crowd was the crowd was loud, which
yes.
I posted something on Twitter. We got to be loud and proud. There were a lot of Boston fans there. I won't say a lot, but
wasn't as much.
But I was in 108, which is behind the goal, and Mark's got great seats, and there was a whole bunch of Boston fans behind us.
Right.
And they weren't very loud for most of the game because
right.
And let's talk about the refs. For the most part, the refs let the players play.
Yeah.
There were some questionable, and listen, on both sides, they let some stuff go.
Yeah.
They called a tripping penalty on Montour at the end of the game, which was a hip check.
Yeah, let's not forget to talk about the hand pass.
Well, I was getting to that.
I just wanted to make sure.
That was the turning point, in my opinion. So important. And at the time, and they showed the replay a couple of times, I thought the call was going against us because, and now I looked at it again, and
he looks up at Bergeron.
Technically, it was a hand pass.
Right.
The guy touched it with his fingertips.
Yeah, but the thing that got it for me is that I understand some people want to say it's incidental, but he looks up and he sees Bergeron and then moves the hand forward. Now, I know he was moving it towards his stick, but look, I get it. If you're a Bruins fan, I said this last night in the recap, if you're a Bruins fan, I 100% understand how you're screaming bloody murder at that. But I've also said that, look, I'm not a big proponent of one thing in the first or second period being the big reason why a team loses a game, all right? The Bruins had 2 leads, right? You had 2 leads in the third period, right? So, I mean, they responded and came back from that hand pass thing. But I mean, I get it. He touched it with his finger. It moved just slightly forward. There's no ambiguity in the rule. You know what I mean? It's like the delay a game where they send it over the ice. It's like, we know you didn't mean it, but we still got to call it. It's kind of like that. I mean, we've seen that on both ends. Like the dude who, I forget who it was last night for Boston. He's screaming because he knows it just went off his stick and went over the glass. He didn't mean to do it, but it's still 2 minutes. So
that's the rules.
Yeah.
But Maurice mentioned this in the post game. Kudos to the video guys for the Panthers.
Double that man's salary.
Unsung heroes. I mean, they wipe out that goal, and it kind of gave a little jolt to the Panthers because that time, I think it was in the second period, the Bruins.
That gave them the lead.
The Bruins were taking it to us.
Yep.
And I don't understand how they could play, pretty good in the first, and then second, they just like a long brain fart.
No. I knew it, man, because I was watching that first period. And I was watching a lot of battles in the corners, and I saw a lot of Bruins standing still. And I said in the recap in the first intermission, I said, that ain't gonna last. Their coaches are gonna get them coming out here hard in a second. That was the worst they were gonna play, because I saw us really outworking them to get to the puck in that first period. So I knew that second period they were gonna come out flying, and they did.
What I noticed, for the most part, and I said this to Mark, we put so much pressure on the Bruins between the hits and whatnot
Yeah.
that some of their guys were like panicking, like we've done, and they made two big mistakes. Like I said, the Bertuzzi in the first goal, and I forget there was another one that ended up with a goal. But we get two goals on the power play. They took Ekblad off the power play, went with four forwards. You know, Bennett slotted in, and the only knock on that power play is I don't understand why Barkov doesn't shoot more. I mean, look what happened on the Kachuk goal, the second one, where Cousins played a really good game.
Yeah, Cousins needs just to stay right there. That line,
Yeah,
that's
but
perfect.
my point is he shot it low.
Right.
It went off the pads right to Kachuk.
Yep.
And didn't Denny Potvin always say the best pass is a rebound?
That's correct. That's correct. And what I said last night, I want to know if you agree with this or not, because, you know, we also watching all this with an eye towards next year. You know what I mean? And Cousins is, we still have him one more year. Look, to me, what Cousins does for Bennett and Kachuk is what Marchment did for Lundell and Luosterainen. I say leave Cousins right there. Like,
well, Cousins to me hadn't really done anything all year.
Right.
Throw that out the window.
Well, he's been in the
go back to '96. Dave Lowry was a tremendous player in the playoffs. I think he had like 10 goals. This is when you step up. And I got to mention that above us where the seats are, you have one suite with Zito, Luongo, Hornquist. You got like the brain trust of the front office. And then to the right of that is Vinny's suite.
Right.
Which is decked out. I mean, it's pretty cool. That suite was packed.
I bet.
And guess who was in the suite?
Who?
Brady Kachuk.
Oh, shit.
And Papa Kachuk.
Oh.
And Mark's got pictures. I wish he had sent it to me. We all got home late and whatnot. Right. But Mark's got a few pictures, and Brady was smiling from ear to ear. I mean, I don't think he was like cheering.
Right.
But it was nice to see him there. Like I said, the crowd was good. You know, Dana and I, you know, in between periods, we were talking, and we were looking for retro jerseys. They're sold out.
Yeah.
And now even more, I want to get myself a retro jersey. They're killer. Right. I love those. Yeah. Forsling had a good game. Gudis, like you said. Mark Stahl was steady. Mahura was steady. I don't know where Eric Stahl was. He really didn't make. I mean, he wasn't bad, but I was really hoping to see an Eric Stahl goal.
He was taking a lot of the draws.
Holy shit! He buried that.
Who? I'm sorry, I talked over you.
Zach Dalby.
Oh yeah.
The guy that comes out of nowhere, but he's the captain of the Checkers.
Right.
And he gets called up and he does the job. All right. I also thought Duclair didn't have a bad game, except he blew two really good chances. Oh, man, if he could score in the seventh game.
Yeah.
But Lundell and Luosterainen buried that shot. That was freaking great.
And also there was one sequence where the Bruins were hemmed in their own zone. And there was 3 Bruins. And it was a solid 30, 40 seconds. They couldn't get out of the zone. And the only Panther in the zone was Eetu Luosterainen. He was doing it. He just wouldn't let him out of the zone. He wouldn't. And he ended up with a turnover. And we had a little bit of, so you're seeing all these pieces get put together.
And they're coming together at the right time.
Coming together at the right time, man.
We can take Game 7.
I know. No, I know. That's the thing.
We just need to play like we did in Game 5 and Game 6, and Bob needs to shut the door. Believe me, the Bruins were frustrated. A lot of their shots were high. They were missing. I mean, Krejci had a great goal between the legs. Bergeron had another great goal. You expect those guys.
And the pasta one, Jesus.
No, that was it. The Pasternak.
Yeah, that was the one like Kachuk. It's like, you can't stop that. You know what I mean? There ain't no stopping those guys that can stick handle like that right next to the net. It's just
right. And I got to mention, at the end of the game, they pulled that shit where they started, a ruckus.
Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't see it. I might have been excited. I almost stroked myself out. I had to walk away. You got a plane over your head. Yeah.
It's
I
gone.
yeah, I almost stroked myself out about 5 minutes post game. I had to walk away and let Kyle run things for a couple of minutes because all of a sudden, out of nowhere, right when I was texting you, hey, are you coming on the stream? After I looked up, I looked down and I looked up. And after I looked back up, like my whole head got real tight and hot, and my left arm started going, go get some medication. Go get some medication. Seriously, like not even like I literally had to stop. You could just watch me turn white, and I'm like, Kyle, run the stream, and I got the hell out of there. And I came back in 5 minutes. I was better, but I almost killed myself last night on the stream.
So what was going on in the stream with the back and forth and crazy stuff happening?
Oh, you gotta watch. I put out a clip. I put out a video last night.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, I put out a video of the good reactions from the third period. It's about 4 minutes long, and yeah. And then I still got a couple clips I'm going to put out for things that I didn't get to last night that I know I want to get out. I'm going to put out a short with me talking about Radko Gudas because I almost stroked myself out on that one too. It was stressful, man, because it's like anything else. Like any man can relate to this statement, just as a man in your own being. When you know you can do something, but you having to just take every last ounce of patience and smarts and will, and you have to take everything that you've learned your whole life and apply it in this 1 minute, but you know, damn it, you could do it. That's how it feels with this team. It's like, I know we can win this series. I know we can beat this. We clearly can beat this team. So to me, this is bigger than just this series, because if we can beat this team, like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? If we can beat this team, there's no teams left that are like the Bruins that is like, well, it was fun while it lasted. No, if we can beat this team, you know what the next sentence is. I ain't gonna say it, but you know what I'm saying. So there's a lot going on for me during the streams because I'm just like, I know you guys can do this. It's like watching your kid. You know what I mean? Where you just like are watching them practice something and you're like, they're going to get it. They're going to get it. They're going to get it. That's how it feels, man. So.
What was great was that clip. I watched that clip a couple of times where we won in overtime and you were going nuts. That was great.
Yeah. That was. Yeah.
I was going to say something else.
Oh.
Obviously, the team now really believes in themselves.
Yeah.
And you're right. If we can get by the Bruins, we can beat everybody. And I turned to Mark on the ride home, and I said, this is what I want to see. Obviously, I want to see us win the game. I think it's going to overtime. I don't know about triple overtime.
I don't know if I'll be alive.
But I want to see Tampa come back, win that, and then we play Tampa.
Yeah.
And beat those motherfuckers.
And we're the ones that I've been saying that the whole Toronto-Tampa series. That's been my whole shtick. Was I want to be the ones that eliminate them.
Third
I
time's a charm. One.
Yeah, that takes.
They're beatable also.
Yeah. Now we just got to hope the Devils finish off the Rangers for us. Because that's the team I don't want nothing to do with.
That's going to happen. 4-0. Holy moly.
I know. Look, Gallant get fired.
On a kid, this kid's come out of nowhere for the Devils.
Gallant's going to get fired.
You think?
This would be the second year in a row he blew a 2-0 lead in the playoffs. There's no way they're going to keep him around after that. You know they don't like him as it is because Gallant's not a likable guy, right?
Do you think the Rangers call a yellow taxi for him?
I don't know about that. It's New York. Well, where would they be? Game 7 would be in New York, right? If they make it there. No, Game 7 would be in Jersey.
Yeah,
So
it's
game
game
6
6.
is in New York.
So
So
I want to
it's a short
mention.
walk.
I want to mention something about the Jersey game.
Yeah.
Eric Haller got 2 goals.
Yeah.
Now he was a bum for us. He did nothing. He
Oh,
was the guy. He was the main guy in the Trocheck trade.
no, he wasn't.
Wait, I think the throw-in was Luosterainen.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
basically, you got Luosterainen for Trocheck.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's nobody else is still with us.
No. The other guy was Wenberg. So
Okay. And
it was
look what he's
Holla.
doing. He's
Yeah.
tearing it up in Seattle.
Yeah. That's
And
one of
look
the
at McCann, another guy we had that's tearing it up for Seattle.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, McCart, knocked him into
Yeah.
outer space, and he's out.
Right. So
there was a hit on Bennett, and I was like holding my breath.
You and I both.
Yeah. Concussionville.
Yeah.
Thank God. Speaking of concussionvilles, obviously Lundberg's out for the series.
Right.
Which is really unfortunate. But the other guys are stepping up. I mean, again, Zach Dalpe.
Yeah.
I said there needs to be a player that is like the unsung hero that you wouldn't expect. But I like the fact that Barkov came alive. I don't know if this is the shirt that I wore underneath my jersey.
Right.
So
but the thing is sometimes bad things happen and it causes good things. And if Lomberg doesn't get hurt, Maurice doesn't put Cousins on that second line.
And that, you're right. That he's made a big difference.
Yeah.
Game 7. Here's the guy I want to be the star of the game. And I'm saying this because I want him to give me this. Who's the player that I want to be the star of the game that gets a goal or 2?
You're going to go with Ekblad, right?
That's correct.
That's correct.
If there was ever a time for Ekblad to say, see, and maybe, I've been hard on him because I want him to watch this, or I want somebody that watches this and say, you got to go to Flying Fluffy Hockey, the #1 Panther fan podcast in the world, and listen to this guy, Stu, who's constantly ragging on you. So, Aaron, if you're watching, give me this on Sunday.
That's what I tried to get him to do, and he blocked me. Man.
Yeah, he blocked me too.
Yeah, I know.
And he's been following me since his rookie year.
When you got pictures with him and everything.
Oh yeah, man. I got a few pictures with him.
Yeah,
had some nice conversations with him. He was 18.
Maybe it's just guilt by association. He just dislikes me so much that he's like, that's it. Anybody that gets on that's with that asshole Jaws, he gets blocked.
No, I've been ragging on him pretty heavy.
That's true.
I'm not doing it just to whatever. I'm doing it because I want him to step up.
Right. I know.
But he only, he's got some limitations, and his speed is not what I'd like it to be. But
well,
we know Kachuk's going to be there.
Yeah.
I thought Reinhard Bennett. Can't say enough about Bennett, man. Where would we be without Sam Bennett?
No, that changed the whole complexion of the series, getting him back.
So, but did you see the bench at the end of the game?
I did not.
The bench was going nuts. And they feed off Kachuk, but that bench.
I did see it.
It was like the overtime win.
Yeah.
They know they can win this game.
Yeah.
They gotta play smart.
Yep. And look, Boston's going to be under a lot of pressure. Okay. I mean, it's very similar to what Tampa went through, because not only did Tampa lose when they won the President's Trophy, but to Columbus, what? And it's the same people. It's the same thing now. It's like, and it's the same goalie, by the way, but it's one thing for Boston to get eliminated from the playoffs, but to the Panthers,
Yeah, well, case in point is Mike Ruppel.
Yeah.
And he was like, I just watched this, and it was like night and day. He did a whole 180. I love the Panthers.
I love the Panthers. Yeah. Okay. Welcome.
Where were you when you guys were sitting around with John Torchetti and I don't know who the other, I'm brain for it. I don't know who the other guy was, but they didn't even mention the Panthers.
Right.
It was the Bruins and the Islanders. And by the way, look what happened to the Islanders.
Yeah.
They're gone.
They put up a fight.
They're gone.
They had a 1-0 lead for the majority of the game. Carolina ties it late and then wins it in overtime. That hurts, man. That's Panther hockey right there. What the Islanders did. That's about right.
All right, so let's end this video with your takes on Game 7 and the key elements that are gonna win the game for us.
The thing for me is, and I've been kind of saying this a little bit, but all of the cliche stuff, fuck it. Just focus. Just absolute, and you saw it in the third period last night, just absolute tunnel vision focus on we can win this game no matter what happens. They take the lead, we're going to get it back. They take the lead again, we're going to get it back. Just forget all of the cliches, stay out of the box and win the draws and all, because it's playoff hockey and ain't none of that in one game really going to matter. What's going to matter is just being tenacious, being ferocious, and staying focused no matter what happens, and just believing that if we just continue to just be an absolute pest when they have the puck, that we can win this series. And then you go from there. But it's not even a series anymore. Now it's just one. It's just do whatever you need to do in that one game. If you lose the draw, it don't matter. Go beat the crap out of them in the corner and get the puck back. And I saw that multiple times last night, by the way, where we lose the draw, but we practically would beat the Bruin to the puck. You know what I mean? We would have a guy immediately on them. So just every moment that's going on, if you lose the draw, don't matter. Fix it. You give up a goal, don't matter. Fix it. Just stay focused like they did. I mean, they came back from twice. They were losing twice in that third period last night.
The comeback Cats.
Yeah.
For me, what did you say? For me, it's discipline.
Right.
Staying out of the penalty box is crucial. Now, if you go back a couple of videos ago, and we talked about how many goals they've gotten in the last couple of years, we got 7 goals last night. All right, 6 without the empty net. And I always feel like we get 4 goals for Bob.
Right.
We usually win the game.
Yeah.
And Bob shut the door. So I think the number one key to that Game 7, Bob's got to be Vezina Bob.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
No 5-hole goals. No cheap goals.
Right.
If he's going to get beat, I mean, Bertuzzi put one right off the post and it went in.
Yeah.
A matter of inches. It hits the post and goes wide.
Right.
So, yeah. And then, obviously, the power play is big.
Right. Right. Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was all the voice I had until tonight when Kyle and I will be back streaming Toronto versus Tampa.
Who do you like in that game?
Oh, Tampa's winning that series.
Okay.
Tampa's. You're going to see a couple of. You're going to see a very. It's almost been a mirror image. The pressure that's on Boston because of the President's Trophy, and the pressure that's on Toronto because of not having won a series. You can see it. It's palpable on the ice. And, last night especially, last thing I'll say, Boston hasn't been put through this test like we're putting them through. Okay, during the regular season, they get a lead. They were shutting teams down. They ain't used to somebody coming back on them again and again and again. And let's just finish this off on Sunday, and then we can enjoy Game 7 to see who we're going to play, because Game 7 against Toronto and Tampa will be Monday. And then I believe if their series ends Monday, I think there'd be 3 days off, I think, and then maybe our Game 1 against the Lightning would be Friday. I'm already scheduling it, man.
It would be poetic justice if the winner of the President's Trophy last year takes down the winner of the President's Trophy this year. I'm hoping that the curse of the President's Trophy continues.
You're going to start seeing a team lose tank at the end of the season, and you know what I mean, to avoid getting the President's Trophy.
Yeah.
If this happens, I mean, there's no way. It's a lot of pressure, I guess. I guess. I don't know.
So anyway, guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, because we did hit 6,300.
Yeah, a lot of new people. Really
We've gained,
appreciate that.
some new subscribers. Hit that subscribe button. Takes a second. Hit the notification button, because Eric's been putting out some spur of the moment videos, and they're good. And then comments. Endo, I'm expecting. Oh, I want to just say, when he commented, he was very respectful.
Okay.
He didn't go at me like an asshole. So I want to tip my hat. And then the last tip of the hat goes to Paul Maurice.
Yeah.
Because Paul Maurice put this system in place. You and I just we ragged on him. And we did say with a lot of people that he should be.
Right.
But I got to tip my hat to Maurice because they finally got it.
They got it.
It took a long time.
Yeah.
But they finally got it. And man, oh man, it was so exciting last night. I didn't get to bed till 3:45 in the morning.
Yeah, I medicated until I passed out. Because I knew I had to get up. Well, because I go to bed and Karen's in the bed, and if I'm all wired and she's asleep, it's not good. It's not fair to her, man. So I make sure that by the time I come to bed, clunk, I'm out.
Yeah, I wonder how many gals went to the game last night, and Dana already told me she didn't sleep well either.
Yeah,
so
no.
How many of you guys went to the game last night and was so jacked up that you couldn't fall asleep?
Look, I closed my door at 1:45, and Kyle was just then getting dinner and was going to try to start winding down. So
that's all I got, guys.
That's it, man.
I think I'm gonna wear my Barkov jersey on Sunday.
Yeah,
Man,
I've been wearing
to see Barkov get another one.
Okay.
But,
all right, guys. Appreciate all the support. And what is it? It's 20-10. I haven't even eaten breakfast yet. And I think the stream starts in like 8 hours or something. So, yeah, good luck to me.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, man. All right, guys. We'll see you again tomorrow. I'll see you again.